Hello, Sagittarius. This is your reading for the month of July 2022. Today is the 30th of June, so for semantics' sake, it's really for today through the end of July. So the 30th of June through the end of July. Now, before we get to the cards, I have something to share with you, a vision that I had during my meditation. So this is what I saw. I was given a gift from the magician. So the magician from the tarot handed me this beautiful white box wrapped tightly with a perfectly wrapped bow. It was like the most beautiful gift I'd ever seen. And I said, for me, and I'm saying for me and me, my first person pronouns, but this is for you, Sagittarius. So place yourself in this visual. Imagine that you're holding a beautiful gift that was given to you by the magician, and you're about to open it up. I opened the box, and inside was a beautiful, long, flowing gown. Now, if you identify as male or you do not conform to any gender, if you're non-binary, just take this as you will. It's just symbolic, the whole gown thing. So, apply it where it applies. It's just imagery. I just wanted to be inclusive to everybody. I opened the box, and inside was a beautiful, long, flowing gown. I tried it on, and I saw myself in a large mirror with gold edges. It was in front of this huge window, and light was flooding into the room. I was suddenly transported into this beautiful kind of palace. The magician looked at me and he said, "This is who you are now." And I was so excited about the gown that I wore it to the grocery store. Everyone stared at me, but I didn't care. They didn't know what I knew. I wore my dress to the beach. I wanted to see what it felt like to wear it through sand and water. I wore my gown everywhere and anywhere, and I didn't mind the attention. So the two cards that came through, especially on that last line, I wore my gown everywhere, and I didn't mind the attention. The word attention reminds me of the Six of Wands, which is a card of recognition, achievement, accomplishment, success, right? Sometimes we can be scared of success, right, Sagittarius? We can have even the will to succeed, but there may be an element here that we will dive into with the cards where you're ready to finally just let go and be like, you know what? I'm going to wear my gown, my proverbial gown, to the grocery store. Everybody's going to be staring at me. They're going to think I'm weird, that I'm wearing this long flowing gown that runs along the floor. They're going to stare at me. And you know what? That's fine. Why is that, Sagittarius? And I see it right here. Because I'm a star. And I don't care who judges me for that. I love the imagery of just wearing the gown everywhere to the beach just because you wanted to see what it felt like to have it drag through the sand and through the salt water. You wanted it to absorb that experience. The gown is representative of like that star card, it's who you really are. And the magician, the manifester in you, is giving you permission. You're giving permission to yourself to be yourself, to wear that gown because it's who you are, and also to be ready to receive that success and actually open the door for yourself. That you don't care that everybody's staring at you, for example. Okay, so I'm using the Fountain Tarot today. You are the only sign that I took this out for Sagittarius for the month of July 2022. This is beautiful imagery, especially the imagery that I saw walking along the shores of the beach. Just beautiful. For Sagittarius. King of Wands is our first card out. This is a time of being bold. Look what we have at the bottom of the deck, the Three of Wands. See how he's having to kind of pull this rope here. These are wands, but this is a rope. He's having to pull it into place. It's almost like he's docking the boat. You know how the Three of Wands is about waiting for your ships to come in? Well, it's like he's pulling the boat in. That's kind of what we were talking about with the vision here, right, Sagittarius? It's like you're wearing the gown to the grocery store. You're pulling in the energy with the magician. You don't care that you look weird. It's almost like you're being purposely dramatic here with the Star card. It's like you're like, you know what? I'm going to manifest this reality for myself. I'm going to wear a gown to the grocery store. Now, the King of Wands, he is very much that. The King of Wands is a perfect example of that fire energy of just being the trendsetter here, creating the wealth, creating the vision, creating it, wearing the gown, pulling in, docking the boat instead of like waiting passively for some proverbial dream to, quote, come to shore. No, this guy's pulling it in and he's docking his own boat. Okay, that's what I'm seeing here, Sagittarius. So this King of Wands, really, this guy is the King of Wands. The King of Wands would do this. This is the King of Wands. Okay, the King of Wands builds his dream. He's an entrepreneur. He doesn't wait for something magical to happen. He makes it happen. That's the King of Wands. For Sagittarius, July 2022. The Seven of Wands, more wands, with the Fool at the bottom of the deck. See, you're about to take some risks, but is it really a risk if you think about it? You know, you may be feeling like, oh, this is too much for me. But at the same time, I mean, look at this guy. He's putting his hand up, like saying like, no, like, get away from me. But at the same time, it kind of looks like, in a sense, I mean, he's wearing this kind of flowing garment. If you look at it from a different perspective here, it almost looks like he's maybe doing some sort of interpretive dance or something. Dance around the wands. Because we had that Six of Wands coming through that vision that I shared. The Seven of Wands can be defensiveness. The Seven of Wands can be having to hold your position. Maybe other people don't see your dream. Maybe they think you're weird for wearing the gown in the grocery store. Oh well. Hey, you know what the King of Wands would do? He would spice it up even further. People are staring at him wearing the gown. So he'll start interpretive dancing. He'll be like, oh, they want a show? I'll give them a show. And this is all just allegory, Sagittarius. It's like, I'm seeing this guy as like turning this energy into something. Like he's the one that's shown. All these people, you can't even see their faces. All you see is their wands that are trying to hit this guy off his pedestal, off of his platform, off of his, star position. That's the only risk you're taking, is the risk of exposure with the moon underneath that. See, the moon with the Fool here, it's almost like you don't want people to know you can dance. But there's something about this energy here with the wands, with the fire, where you're like, you know what? I'm going to give him a show. I'm going to show him how much I can dance. I'm going to show him I can dance. I want to dance with somebody. I want to feel the heat with somebody. That's like that. Heat, dance. for Sagittarius. Turn up the heat. Turn up the heat, Sagittarius. King of Wands, that's your energy, man. Dance that dance. Dance that dance. Dance the dance of life, my friend. I'm doing it Nicholas Ashbaugh style. I love that. I love that he does that. So I'm trying it out. I do that in my own readings when I'm alone, and I sometimes I like to do that. Speaking of Nicholas Ashbaugh, he's a fellow reader and intuitive on YouTube. Go look him up because he's somebody I literally look up to as not only a mentor but a guide. I watch most of his readings, so go watch Nicholas Ashbaugh if you want to really listen to somebody who's not going to give you a bunch of junk. You can trust what he's saying. So anyways, Wheel of Fortune. So you go from taking your dream in your own hands. That's very magician, by the way, anyway. We had the magician and the vision. That's very magician. King of Wands. Taking your dream in your own hands. Being the builder of your own dream. And then when people, buck up against that, you just turn it into a dance and into a song and just part of the performance. You don't let it get to you. Then the Wheel of Fortune comes in. And look, I love this because it's like multiple wheels. It's like a wheel within a wheel within a wheel. And it almost looks like there's a figure in the middle here. Yet again, dancing between the hues. It's like you're dancing between the hues of your destiny here. Your dance is turning the wheel, Sagittarius. It's like you went from this fire energy. These have similar colors here with the yellow and the orange, and then it becomes like another hue. It's like you're mixing now with other colors here, and it's the colors of the universe. You're absorbing your different environments. It's like you wore that dress everywhere. You wore it to the grocery store. You wore it to the beach with these blues. There's blue tones now. It's like you're willing to move with like a dance with the universe. You're dancing with the universe. You are coming forward boldly, but at the same time, you're not. The Seven of Wands can be sometimes overly defensive. This Wheel of Fortune is coming in to say, now, maybe you need to defend yourself against people who don't understand you, but the universe understands you. You don't have to put your hand up to the universe here. You don't have to be defensive to the universe. You can dance with the universe. Stay open here, Sagittarius. The universe, as you continue to move forward with boldness, and as you dance the dance of life here, you're going to come into a sort of flow with the universe where you're going to start to get different ideas and you're going to see different ways to do things. So keep this energy with the King of Wands, this entrepreneurial, visionary sort of powerhouse energy. Defend yourself from the wrong people and give them a show with your beautiful dance. But to the right people and towards the universe, you can let your guard down. You can drop back down to the Six of Wands where you have success and reciprocity and respect. The universe gives you all that. And the universe is going to just let it become a flow, like you're flowing through the waters where you can let your guard down. You can receive ideas from the collective like pool of consciousness here of the divine, where you're able to see and understand new ways of doing things. So be open, stay flexible, like a dancer would for Sagittarius. And what's this? King of Swords. He didn't come out, but he's peeking out. It's almost like somebody peeking out about this card. Sometimes the King of Swords can be, a higher up looking out for you. It could also be like the side of you that's able and willing to take care of this here, this Ten of Swords. See, sometimes when we get into the flow of the universe, and look, 10, 10, these are both tens. Sometimes when we get into the flow of the universe, see how this guy is bowing down here? It's like he's bowing to the higher understanding, the higher consciousness, and even seeing himself in a new way. Sometimes when we, quote unquote, bow to the higher way, it can cause deaths in our lives. It can cause endings. It can cause us to leave behind old versions of ourselves. And this is a good thing. You know, the Ten of Swords is a surrender. It is an acceptance that something has come to a close. So there is definitely endings here as well as beginnings. We had the Fool. Let it end. We have Two of Swords at the bottom of the deck. Don't stay in this zone. Go from the 2 to the 10 here. Go through the process of like, okay, I'm going to take off the blindfold and I'm going to look at the things that the universe is showing me, and then we're going to bring them to a completion here. And that could be anything. That could be certain relationships. That could be perceptions of yourself. Yeah. We have the 5 of Swords here. So that just shows me that, you know, the 5 of Swords, whenever it comes out, I just, it's hard to see the 5 of Swords as anything other than like a lose-lose. You know, it's like you're trying to explain yourself with the 7 of Wands and the 5 of Swords here to somebody, a group of people, maybe even at a job, a relationship, family, even a set of beliefs possibly that you used to hold, but you just keep bumping up against again and again, where it's like they're not listening, they're not even paying attention, or they're fighting you. So this is, remember how I said go from the 2 of Swords to the 10 of Swords? This is showing that one of the main points of the process, because it's coming through in the cards, one of the things that's hard for you, and there's a fly coming into the reading, and not to sound woo-woo, but sometimes when that happens, it's like, it's that, sometimes I look at flies as like that energy that just keeps buzzing and buzzing and buzzing and buzzing and just keeps fighting with you and pressing your buttons and bothering you, and, you know, so I could go into that, but it was interesting that the fly came right when I was talking about the 5 of Swords here. Okay, so this is amazing energy. Look how we're in this light, bright energy. Right in the middle, we have the universe literally working for you and with you and for your highest good. Sometimes when we bow to the higher order, if you will, you know, it's not always easy. Sometimes it starts out like, oh, I'm going on this new adventure. I'm, you know, it's beautiful. It's wonderful. I'm my authentic self. I'm living my dream. I'm working with the universe. And then boom, all this stuff arises. And you're like, what the heck? I was doing so well. What happened? No, don't say what happened. This is part of it. It's like... It's like it brings it to the surface. I'm seeing gross imagery, and I'm just going to say it because it might give you the point if I say it like this. It's like putting on this special like acne treatment that you get from a dermatologist onto your face. And it starts to bring out all of these pimples. And you're like, I thought this was going to help me. I thought this medicine was going to get rid of my acne, not bring out all of this bacteria all over my skin. I didn't think that I was going to look worse. I didn't think that I was going to have more issues here by bowing to the universe, by putting this medicine on me. when actually it's just part of a process, Sagittarius. This whole thing. So let's see what comes next. On one hand, we have forward motion, bold action, claiming who you are, what you want, not backing down from your dream, turning it into a dance with the universe. And then we deal with strife and conflict and, people who aren't budging and situations that are challenging and they feel like lose, and we have to end certain things. We have to come to the end of ourselves here. Let's see. Three of coins. Yep. See? Right on the Wheel of Fortune. Now I'm just going to leave that there for a second. Let's just let that sit. Because the Three of Coins, my friend, is about quality, graduation, things coming together. I love this card specifically out of probably all the decks I have, to be honest with you. Why? Because to me, this looks like a Venn diagram where it's like he has all these ideas. He has, all of these visionary ideas with the King of Wands here, right? And look, there's helping hands on the sides. These could be guides. These could be people. These could be just, your ideas coming together on a higher plane here with the Wheel of Fortune. See how it fell right on top of the Wheel of Fortune as well. This is divinely guided. All this coming together. Both of these sides. And look, that's so interesting. On this side, there's somebody's wearing a dark garment, and on this side, somebody's wearing a light garment. And this fell right here. It's like this side is these lessons or these, integrations of the self. This side is the darker garment where we're integrating these lessons and this side of things. And now we're finding a way to put them all together, to take all the wisdom of it all with the help of the universe here and put them together like a Venn diagram. And this guy is able to hold and carry and embrace and integrate and become. This is a card of the highest quality. This is like the best of the best. This is the A+ card here. So as all of this is happening, just embrace it. Embrace the changes. Embrace your feelings here. When you feel like you want to go out and just create what you want to create, you don't care who tries to stop you, and then you hit up maybe against a wall here. This is all needing to happen. This is coming out. Again, to use the pimple analogy, this stuff had to come out like a pimple so that it could be purged. This stuff, it's getting in the way of this. But there's a lot to be learned from all of this as well. And that's why I like that this was kind of the integration of it all. Okay. Now, with that said, what can Sagittarius expect to come as they dance the dance of with the universe? What can they now expect to come because of this beauty, this integration, this dance, this coming to the end of something? Because when the Ten of Swords ends, you're always walking into something new. The universe doesn't just close stuff off and leave you without, any forward, any new options. This is a process. This is a process that's happening for you, not against you. So let it all come to the surface. Let it. This is good. So let's get 2 more cards. With this 3 of Coins energy, really, is what I'm looking at. These are kind of like, these are the middle of the spread here. The Wheel of Fortune and the Three of Coins. This is where it all comes together. Okay, so let's get two more cards to kind of wrap up this Three of Coins message here. And yes, there's stuff to work through. We have the Three of Swords at the bottom of the deck here that goes along with this side of the spread, right? There's Five of Swords. It can get ugly sometimes, and it can hurt our hearts. It really can. But what I like is this heart kind of looks like a piece of art. It's like with this card too. It's like, people are maybe coming against your vision and think you're weird for wearing that gown to the beach and to the grocery store, but you're turning it into a dance. In the same way, it's like, yes, there's heartbreak here. Yes, it's hard and it's challenging to move through. The Ten of Swords is a painful ending, and the Five of Swords is a painful everything that goes around the ending, basically. The Three of Swords is the hurt because of it all. But this is a beautiful Three of Swords. This heart, it's like a work of art. It's like blown glass here. In the same way, this guy turned his defensive stance into an interpretive dance. It's like turning your pain into art. Maybe you'll write a song. Maybe you'll dance a dance. Maybe you'll create some sort of beautiful, ornate piece of artwork here. Maybe you'll write about it. Maybe you'll tell a friend how you overcame something challenging. That can be art in and of itself. Okay, so let's get two cards to bring this Three of Coins together. Universe, what are you saying here to Sagittarius as they go through all this? What can they expect to come when they come out the other side of all this? Wow. This is big. This is really big. This is all pentacles. So let's just say that. Pentacles are coins, literally money. Pentacles are your idea working. Pentacles are your life in general, where your life maybe felt taxing and hard and confusing, and relationships breaking down, and points of view and beliefs maybe being confused. Coins, pentacles are all about the stability of the home, of the life, of the health, of the money, of the job, of everything about the earth that we live in here. So I find it beautiful that it's like we got wands here, we have swords here, we have the universe, the Wheel of Fortune here, bringing you into, and of course you're doing it with the King of Wands. You're doing it as you bow down and surrender. You're doing it with the universe. But all that said, it's like all this is going on up here, but really what it's pulling you down to, and that's what I feel, it's like it's pulling you into this. Three of Coins is a beautiful job well done, a business that takes off, an idea that works, a best-selling novel, it's like I see somebody building their own home here. I'm seeing the blueprints on the table, and it's like that's King of Coins. It's like the King of Coins is like showing the builders what he wants this house to look like. And it's in the reverse. So, it could be that you feel a sense of, I was going to say entitlement, and I'm going to go with that. Where maybe you feel like, because it's right under the Seven of Wands, a defensive feeling of like, why isn't it coming faster? Because you might be at 10 of Swords right now. You might be in the midst of 5 of Swords, and you're like, you feel this sense of entitlement, like, it should be mine. I've done a good job. I've put myself out there. I've fought the fight, here, and I'm dealing with all this. I deserve this. I worked for this. I should have this. Why don't I have this? And yet here's the card. You do have it. It's just in the reverse. The reverse is just showing kind of the all that stuff that I just said that can kind of block you from the gratefulness, block you from opening up that heart chakra with the green, the thankfulness that can come with more abundance, the green where it can grow, more can grow here. So when he's in the upright, this is the guy who's planning to build the house, and he has a group of advisors around him that he's like, I want this over here, I want this over here, I want this over here, and I want this over here, and all right, after that, let's take lunch. He's the boss. Okay. He's the boss, the King of Wands. So we have the coins and we have the wands. So not only do you have the power and the entrepreneurial skills and the charisma and the leadership, but you have the practical approach, the day-to-day, the ability to pull something off. And where is that going to get you, Sagittarius? Literally, to me, one of the best cards in the deck, the 10 of Coins. And look where it sits, right under the 10 of Swords. This is darkness. This is feeling like, when is this ever gonna get better here? This is painful. This is challenging. This is hard. It's almost like the Death card in a sense. It's a true ending. But when one door closes, another door opens. And look how bright this life is now. Once he dealt with all this here, all the stuff that's blocking him from all the good stuff, whoever that may be, whatever that may be, beliefs, people, a job, whatever's blocking you from all this, once he just bows down and surrenders to the process, where he's like, you know what, the universe is showing me a way out here. Once he does that, all this is going to happen, and it's going to lead him to the 10 of Coins. Look at this. 10, 10, 10. 10, 10, 10. You will come through this, Sagittarius, and you will come out on top. And the King of Coins knows how to run whatever this is. So it's not just about having the passion and the stamina and all that. It's about understanding how to integrate. Remember, we talked about the Venn diagram. All of the lessons, being able to deal with hard things, work through challenging things, work through people not understanding you and continuing to go forward anyway with the help of the universe, putting it all together, learning all the lessons with your guides, with your angelic assistants, with helping hands from friends, family, whoever, pulling it all together, putting the lessons